Linley's heart clenched as he realized the gap between him and Dexter, who had already achieved the level of Tier 4, a level of mastery that seemed dauntingly out of reach for himself at that moment. Dexter walked past Linley, his face expressionless and cold. After all, he was an exceptional talent, unmatched by any of his peers. Some amount of pride and attitude was to be expected. A beam of light shot out from the dragon ring, and Dennis chuckled as he appeared. Linley, the gap between you two isn't that big. When Dexter enrolled, his will force was 68 times that of his peers. This means that before he even started training, his will force was at the level of a Tier 3 mage. So in his first year at Oakfield, he only needed to accumulate enough arcane energy to reach a level higher. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Linley realized the significant gap between his abilities and Dexter Hardy's, but he was determined to work hard and close that gap. Dexter's extraordinary talent lay in his natural connection to the primals, which allowed him to quickly gather arcane energy. Although his cultivation is progressing quickly now, I estimate it will take him 3 to 4 years to advance from his current tier to the 5th. Then it will take another 4 to 5 years to progress from there to a 6th tier mage. You are currently at the Tier 2 level, while he is in Tier 4, but I am confident I can help you close the gap in no time, rest assured, Dennis said, with a smile on his face. Linley doubted Dennis's confidence that he could catch up to Dexter easily. Old man, the more talented someone is, the faster they progress. That's what I've learned here, Linley said, expressing his doubt. His talent far surpasses mine, and he's already 2 tiers ahead. How could I possibly catch up to him in no time? His studies at Oakfield Institute had made him realize the difficulty of advancing each mage tier. In the past, Dennis had expressed his intention to help Linley reach the level of a Tier 6 arcanist within a decade. But deep down, he had his suspicions about this, considering how quickly he was advancing. As Linley moved swiftly through the dense, tree-covered slopes behind Oakfield Institute, "Find a spot near a rocky cliffside," Dennis suddenly instructed. "A cliff?" Linley asked, puzzled by the instruction, as he continued to navigate the dense, tree-covered slopes behind Oakfield Institute. "Don't ask too many questions. When we get there, I'll tell you what's to be done further." The hills were mostly covered in lush vegetation and towering ancient trees. After a thorough search, Linley found a spot that met Dennis's requirements, a prominent peak rising several hundred meters high. He then paused at its base. "So why are we here?" Linley asked, perplexed. "Before that, tell me, boy, do you doubt my ability to help you reel Dexter Hardy's level? Do you forget that I am an archmage from the hallowed tier? I have a way to help you strengthen your will force and energy?" Dennis asked. "Isn't meditation enough to enhance will force?" Linley questioned in return. "Linley, I admit, meditation has its benefits, but it often leaves you feeling quite drained. It's good, but not the most optimal." "Of course it's tiring," Linley said, furrowing his brow. "Meditation uses up energy before it naturally replenishes. It would be strange not to get tired. My method is different. It doesn't deplete your energy and is more of a leisure activity." "Leisure activity?" Linley's eyebrows arched in mild astonishment. "Yes, I'm talking about sculpting." Dennis's face lit up with pride. "Sculpting?" Linley repeated. "You mean like the stone carvings in the Cynosure Society?" Dennis smiled and said, "Yes. While carving can be strenuous and demanding for others, my method is initially tiring, but becomes rewarding over time." "Really? I find that hard to believe, old man. Are you sure you're not going senile?" Linley asked, clearly skeptical about the promised benefits of the carving method. Dennis glared at him. "Linley, you doubt me? Remember, I was one of the esteemed archmages of the hallowed tier. Yes, I know your dialogue." Linley chuckled. "When I was alive, many nobles would be willing to pay me thousands for my stone carvings. But because I loved my work too much, I was never able to part with them," Dennis said with his head held high. Linley, puzzled, asked, "If you're that renowned, why haven't I heard your name among the master sculptors?" "Well, I hid all my work in an underground chamber that no one knows about. It's been over 5,000 years. The world has changed, and even the former imperial capital of the Astoria Empire has been razed to the ground. Who could possibly locate that hidden chamber now?" Dennis replied awkwardly. "So no one really knows, huh?" "Maybe that's because it's all a big fat lie," Linley said with a cheeky grin. "You don't believe me?" Dennis glared at him. Back then, a young guy from the Cynosure Society came to me, eager to see my works. After studying my creations, that kid had a breakthrough and eventually became a master and got a cultural society named after him. You could say he's practically my disciple. Linley was taken aback by the revelation, realizing that even the legendary sculptor Cynosure had once sought guidance from Dennis. Cynosure? The legendary stone carver? Linley was shocked, realizing the importance of the name in stone carving. Throughout history, Dennis had been acknowledged as a mentor to the legendary stone carver associated with the Cynosure Society, a pivotal figure in the art of stone carving, or at least that is what he claimed. While Cynosure's works aimed for perfection, mine took a different path. I called my stone carving technique the flat blade method. This style is unlike any other sculpting tradition. It's initially tiring, but becomes rewarding over time, Dennis said with absolute confidence. His gaze turned to Linley as he continued. Of course, my school, recognized for its distinctive technique of using just a flat blade for stone carving, has consisted only of me all this time. But from today, it will also include you. Doesn't sound much of a school if it's always just been you, Linley joked. However, his deep trust in the old man, coupled with his admiration for his renowned expertise, made him eager to learn carving. Linley was eager to delve into the art of carving, hoping it would not only refine his skills, but also provide a way to support his brother's education. If Dennis's words proved true, Linley could rapidly enhance his skills, becoming a master stone carver. The income from his sculptures alone might be sufficient to cover his younger brother's tuition. Recorded history with written evidence stretched back thousands of years, but even before writing was developed, stone carvings had already existed. Our ancestors carved what they saw and thought, stretching back thousands of years, perhaps even reaching into the millions. It's the oldest way of passing on civilization, Dennis said. Linley nodded in agreement, recognizing that no art form from ancient times could surpass the enduring legacy and significance of stone carving. Among the many art forms throughout history, none was as timeless or as skilled at reflecting human experiences as stone carving. That's why stone carving art had thrived for so many years. Stone is hard, making carving it difficult, and capturing its unique beauty is even harder. The more challenging it is, the more precious successful works become, Dennis Carter mused. Linley agreed, noting that while a natural brushstroke was easy in painting, replicating that effect in carving is extremely challenging due to the stone's hardness. The stone's shape, texture, grain, and color held not only specific images but also an inherent beauty. By chiseling away the excess parts of the stubborn stone, the beautiful image within naturally emerged. That was the beauty of stone carving. The carving method is a way of handling images in space. As you carve, you gradually remove excess material from the outside in, progressively outlining the form. With each removal, the form becomes clearer, allowing the creator to feel the thrilling moment when the work comes to life. Dennis could talk endlessly about stone carving, and his passion was so evident that Linley couldn't help but sense his deep appreciation for the art. As Linley listened, he absorbed the foundational principles of stone carving, gaining a deeper understanding of the craft. My carving technique is unlike any other because I use just one tool, a chisel. How can you possibly use just a chisel for carving? Linley immediately retorted. You mentioned fish scales earlier. How would you create them with a single tool? It's simply impossible, right? No, it's impossible for others, but we Earth mages can do it, Dennis said confidently. Earth mages can completely sense the stone itself. With sufficient wrist strength, you can carve using just a chisel. Of course, this chisel style isn't simple. Your task today is to buy a sharp chisel. Starting tomorrow, I'll spend 3 hours each day teaching you stone carving.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.